previously on Gearz.
All right, time for Disi's Double D's, and we're featuring somebody so special today. Let's get him on the line because Disi's got a very special opening. Well, a very special opening for, as she always does. She's always got a very special opening for Disi's Double D's.
Not really.
You do.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ernesto!
Ciao, Ernesto!
Hey. Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, we are terrific. We got terrific. Before we start, Disi has got to start her official Disi's Double D's. Go for it.
A master of words, a true gentleman. Unfortunately for us, not a fellow countryman. Our F1 poet and Balls Radio friend, one who we really must recommend. From Absolute F1 to Times Magazine, this man is fit to sit next to the Queen. My dude today is one to back. It's the one and only Ernie Black.
Yeah! That was so brilliant. You're a poet.
Oh my God, that was fantastic.
That was amazing. Amazing. Ernie, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to our esteemed, most probably the only professional part of the show, Disi's Double D's.
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks, guys.
Ernie, we know you as the F1 poet, but we don't really know much about you. Could you tell us more about yourself, where you were born, where you grew up, went to school, did you study?
Okay, so I was born in Canada. Parents are both Italian. Actually do have both citizenships. I went to school here in Canada. I did travel to Europe basically every summer since the age of 2. So I've been back to Europe probably more times than I can count on both hands and feet. I work in IT, oddly enough, and I'm very analytical. My position essentially is a global one. I take care of, I guess my title would be disaster recovery specialist, and I take care of all of our in all of our offices globally.
Wow.
So it's pretty much a 365 type 24/7 job. But I always find time to follow the sport that I love. I love Formula One for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is my father's a mechanic, and I grew up in and around cars, basically all my life. And it's kind of hard not to get that bug bit for F1 when your father watches it, religiously every Sunday. And that was our bonding time. So we would sit, Grand Prix weekend, we'd sit and watch this old black and white Ricky TV. Aging myself there for a lot of the listeners. Black and white TV.
What do you mean?
Is watch the cars go around.
Is there now color?
There is now color.
Because we're in Africa here, don't forget it, Ernie.
So that was my bonding time with my dad. And as such, we've always been close. We share a lot of similar, he was my hero, and he still is. Just like, several other, young boys, their fathers are their heroes. And, my mom, too, she went through a pretty bad spell when I was young. She was very sick. She's a cancer survivor. So there's a lot of stories of, different types of experiences in life. And Formula One has been like a constant. It's always been that one thing that I have always been drawn to. And so I wrote a little something for Disi for this special occasion that actually brings you up to speed on how the F1 poet became the F1 poet.
Excellent.
Oh, awesome.
Yay!
This is also going to be the first time ever that I've recited one of my own poems live.
Terrific.
Okay, so I somehow knew it would end up on this show. Anyways. All right, here we go. As a young boy, I always dreamed of being famous, or so it seemed. And then I learned in my old age, I didn't need fame or my own stage. I just needed to find my niche, my thing, which made me feel as though I were king. So in IT, I work and fight fires while dreaming of F1 and Pirelli tires. I do many things and wear many hats. I work with comedians and other cool cats. I run a few blogs and report for some sites. I work through my days and I write through my nights. I've had challenges in life, as have we all, but I battled through them and now stand tall. Well, that's a lie. I'm actually quite short, but I'm fortunate to have had such great support. When times were hard, I wrote in verse. My first rhymes were actually quite perverse. Oh, they weren't that dirty, just all in fun. But then I applied my skills to Formula One. The F1 poet had then been bored. And since that day, I've been tooting my own horn. I've been featured on shows and published a book. I'll make it one day, come hook or come crook. But now I know I'll make it with ease. I've made it already. I'm on Disi's Double D.
That was brilliant.
Joining you live, I'm always delighted. I'm humbled and grateful and super excited. So thanks to Disi, Sasha, Ian, and crew, and all at Balls Radio for all that you do. Have fun without me for the rest of the week. Miserable git. Party your balls off in Mozambique.
Yeah. Round of applause.
That's superb.
Jeez.
Superb, Ernie. Yeah, because that was one of the questions. I mean, where did it all start? And I suppose one of the most therapeutic ways, Ernie, would be, you know, if you can't sit there and go and, I don't know, go outside and punch a boxing bag or hit something, writing must have been your release.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, I didn't actually know I could write poetry until a friend of mine who is actually a world-famous comedian, for those who might or might not know. His name is Joe Abati, and he is an Australian-Italian comedian who's made it quite big in North America and in Australia and whatnot. I heard his stuff, and I said, you know what, it's nice to hear someone doing something with our culture. So I actually wrote in and said, you know, congrats and well done and whatnot. And if you're ever in my neck of the woods, give me a call. 2 weeks after I sent that email, I get a call. And they said, hey, we're thinking about coming to Canada. This was back in 2001. Long story short, after he got here, we met, we became friends, and now when he's on tour, I help. And I help write some of the material for some of the shows, not necessarily his, but some of the other comedians. And one day, it was around Christmas, I decided I'm going to write him a poem based on some of the shenanigans that took place during the tour. And, you know, I realized, hey, I can rhyme. And I actually started pulling all these things, and it, you know, it was a group, you know, it was a fairly good response to it from everybody that I sent it to, and I thought, you know, let's keep doing this. This is fun, and so, you know, I began to write, and Formula One, again, being one of my passions, I decided to marry the two. But I do more than just poems, I mean, that's essentially what I've been known for.
Yeah, I saw that you also have a blog. Is most of your writing related to motorsport, or do you write about many different things?
Okay, so I have a couple of blogs. Most of my writing is essentially all Formula One. I write for F1 Plus, who I am going to be going to the Canadian Grand Prix for.
Awesome.
For the first time, an accredited journalist, FIA accredited journalist. So I'll be fulfilling one of my life dreams.
Wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is something else. I still don't know if the guys at the FIA really know what they're doing. I wouldn't have given me the opportunity to write poems. Anyways, and I also write for another great site called Richland F1. And I had written for about 10 sites at one time, and I just couldn't keep up. So I had to narrow it down to a couple, and there's a few projects on the go. But my other blog is something actually I write with my wife, and she doesn't really do much of the writing. She just gives me the opinions that she wants to share.
Terrific.
So and we'll talk about basically anything, our trip on the train, or one of my pet peeves, for instance, is weak toilet paper, and we don't need to go any further into that one.
It's terrific stuff, and I mean this trip now to Canada, well, to the Canadian Grand Prix, as you say, Ernie. I mean, to go there as an accredited journalist, to be around there, it's really going to be something incredibly special.
Yeah, I've received a lot of great offers already. I've been invited to 2 amazing parties. One is with is an event put on Friday by Martini and Porsche, and I'm sure you guys know the Sutton Images group. Keith and Mark will be there.
Yeah.
A number of different F1 sponsors and F1 people will be there, so it's going to be great to be able to connect and mingle and introduce myself, and kind of get a feel of what goes on the other side of F1, because I've been going. This is going to be my 22nd Canadian Grand Prix.
Wow!
And this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time I'll be going as not just a fan.
That is just so special.
Yeah, it's something else. And then the Sunday is a closing party with a company called the Code 20, and I urge you to take a look. This is extremely exclusive. It's by invitation only, and if you look at some of the pictures, you'll notice a lot of the drivers and team personnel and whatever. And I'm really excited about that one as well, because how often does a fan get a chance to spend time within arm's reach of their heroes? So this is going to be a very special Canadian Grand Prix for me.
Well, if you see Lewis Hamilton, please tell him to reply to our tweets. We'd like to interview him.
Oh, dear.
I'll write him a poem and include it.
Can I just ask, just so for folks who are following you or who want to follow you can get in touch. You've got an amazing blog. I'm just currently on it at the moment, just kind of flicking through as I'm listening to you talk. Just give us your website address and also your Twitter name. And the final kind of part of this 3-part question is, tell us how to get your book, because I know that a lot of people would love to read your poems and have them in their collection. So can you do that for us?
Okay. So first, the blog is thef1poet.wordpress.com.
Okay.
The Twitter handle is @thef1poet. Now, be careful, because there is another gentleman who calls himself F1 Poet. I don't know if he's new or old or what the case is, but I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Okay.
Obviously did not know that he existed, but that's the case. And the book is quite simple. It will be available probably within the next month on iTunes and on Nook, but right now it can be purchased on lulu.com. If you go to my blog, the very first page is the book, and there's a link or two there that'll take you directly to the page where you can buy it, and it's £1.99. So it's not a very big number, and just so people don't think I'm writing to get rich, it is cheap and accessible, and the reason that was done is so that a lot of people can buy the book and see what it's about. And I've also decided to donate 25% of all profits to a charity that one of my Twitter friends is running that helps underprivileged children in the UK. So
wonderful.
That I think is on for the rest of the month. So if you're going to buy the book, buy it this month, so at least he gets the money towards the charity.
That's fantastic. And just quickly before, sorry, Sashman.
No, go for it.
The book is not a hard copy; it's an ebook, so you'll get it straight away. You can download it.
Is it lulu.com?
Yes,
yeah.
Lulu.
Yeah, it's Lulu. That's right. And if you search for the name of the book is Formula One Book of Poetry. It's the first edition. Peter Windsor was gracious enough to write the foreword for me. And it was actually because of him that I wrote the book, because he used to read my poems on his show. And,
Brilliant.
yeah, and he said, you should really write a book. And so I thought, why not? I've got half the poems written already. I'll just, clean it up and put it together. And that's what I did. So, and if I think I sent a copy to Disi and Sasha, share it with Ian. You'll notice that Balls Radio is all over the book.
Yeah, amazing.
Because every time that you guys have read a poem online, I've actually mentioned it in the book that it was read by you. So
that's very kind.
Hopefully,
Thank you, Ernie.
we'll get Balls some additional listenership.
Well, listen. Hopefully, with the amount of times you sending us poems, we'll have the opportunity to get you more people to buy the book.
There you go.
Okay, I always have to finish off. My dudes and my Dizies, double Ds have to answer a few questions. You are a car fanatic too, so what's your dream car?
A paid-off Ferrari.
There we go. I like that.
Okay, your favorite food?
I have to go back to my roots, and I have to say pizza.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Italiano.
Italian, okay. And your ideal holiday destination? South Africa.
Mozambique. I've been lucky. I've been able to travel the world, and I'll tell you, I would spend a lifetime going up and down Italy. There's so much culture and so many things and so much good food. But recently I've been to Aruba and I experienced what true relaxation is. Wow. And so probably any one of those two destinations would be my dream.
Well, that's awesome.
Brilliant.
Okay, well, we'll be sipping on a cocktail on Thursday and thinking of you, Ernie, while we're in Mozambique. We wish you could have joined us, but unfortunately you're on the other side of the world.
It's all good, guys. It's all good. And I thank you very much for, this is an honor for me. So thank you very much for having me on.
It's a pleasure, Ernie. And listen, we're so looking forward to getting updates from you next week from Montreal.
Yes, I'll get in touch, Sasha, and we'll set up a little daily conversation we can have with regards to maybe even on Skype, and I'll report live from there. You can ask your questions, and I'll try to answer as best I can.
You're a legend, my friend. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, guys. Have fun without me.
All right. We'll try.
Take care, Ernie.
Cheers, Ernie.
Bye.
There we go. Ernie Black. What a great guy. What a great story.
It's an amazing story. Do you know,
He's
I'm just
so humble.
I always say that thoughts become things. You know, what you think about and focus on often materializes. And I'm just sitting here listening to Ernie Black, who's halfway across the world in a completely different time zone. It's morning for him, talking Formula One, and his love for Formula One has attracted this show to him and him to this show. And the next thing you know, he's going as an accredited journalist to the Canadian Grand Prix. He's just doing what he loves doing.
How insane.
It's amazing. It's really inspiring.
That is just amazing. So I'm on lulu.com.
Yeah, I've got it through iTunes as well.
If
you've got an
you
iTunes
can get
account,
it
you can get it
through
there.
iTunes as well.
Yeah.
And it's $3.
Or it's 20 Rand, essentially.
There we go.
That's what it's going to cost you.
So do yourself a favor. I'll post the link up on Twitter and on the Facebook page as well. But go and support him because, we've only had a touch of what his poems are.
He's so cute, though, making up a poem for this and reading it.
He's just
quite short.
Who, Ernie?
Yeah, it's quite short.
Was it proper Italian?
Go and have a look. Go and have a look at his blog, the f1poet.wordpress.com.
No, he could be a racing driver. That's why he's got the same height as a racing driver.
He's built like a racing driver. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
no,
cool.
It's unbelievable.
Lovely.
Fantastic. There we go. Great to have him on Disi's Double D's. Brilliant stuff, Disi. And my dad says, well done on your poem. He said
Thank you,
was,
Mr. Martininga.
He said it was terrific.
Stop. At the next intersection, turn on
Gearz with Sasha Martinengo.
weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.